we don't end the periscopes when that kind of stuff just happened only on the Facebook.
But we didn't know that was going to happen.
We don't know what's going to happen. I want to keep the set until the guests actually keep the camera. We're going to keep the.
But he did like 3 times.
Live until the guest leaves.
Like out the door.
Out the door.
Gotcha.
That unless the next segment is.
I know. Maybe Freddie's going to come back and do like cartwheels at the end, and we think it's over.
I always try to do a cartwheel.
Yeah.
You smell really good.
Thank you. It's the K1.
It's the K1?
It's the K1.
It's beautiful. It's fresh, and it is classic, isn't it?
It's a classic.
It smells very good.
Thank you.
I smell like a grande Americano with steamed non-fat milk.
I'm in need of that right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Mm-hmm. I'm in need of my 3rd one. Just kidding. Tell me when we're good.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live. Oh, hi, everybody. Welcome
we should have
back.
a signal, I guess.
Yeah, something. Or like any kind of communication from you to me would be a good one, as opposed to me asking Connor. I'm joined by Freddie
Connor's still
Tovar.
sleeping from the art show that was.
I know. I'm still sleeping from that art show. Remember Bob Ross, the painter?
Yeah.
Remember he had
I used to like watching him in the middle of the afternoon, like on a rainy afternoon. It was extraordinary.
But I just said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I would lay on the couch and I would watch him. He'd go, and now a little titanium.
Exactly.
Oh, I see a little tree pop up in the river.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, you might as well be giving me a massage.
Exactly.
Was there nothing better?
That was so rejuvenating.
I stopped in my tracks when he passed away.
Yeah.
I was like, rest in peace, Bob. Like, we're all going to miss you.
Exactly.
I just found out from Connor that they just brought it back on Netflix.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Right?
Oh,
how fantastic!
That's awesome.
The next generation of people are going to be blanketed and hugged by the wonderful art of Bob Ross. And then he's like, and then you can buy this one. I'm like, okay, so I would never put that in my house, but I love watching you do it. There's nothing better. So we're joined by Freddie Tovar.
Hi.
Freddie was supposed to be on the show a couple weeks ago when John Rubenstein was on. We were talking about all the great work that John does in Haiti. But you were under the weather.
Yes.
So we forced you to get back up from the weather and come in here because you too are involved in Haiti. And I don't know if you know my connection to Haiti. I grew up in Haiti.
I heard.
My dad still works down there. He travels back and forth. I don't know as much about your connection to Haiti, but I know you do a lot of really great, important work. So why don't you sort of tell me a little bit about what you do and all of it.
I'm an OBGYN. I trained here.
So many questions for you. So first one. No, listen.
Let the consultation begin.
I'm not joking. Okay, so I had the baby in February of 2004.
Congratulations.
Sometimes, can I just tell you, all right, we'll do this all.
No. This is actually.
You already love me.
Yes, I do.
Come on, admit it.
No, this is.
This must be what you got from everybody.
I'm so clear.
You're
this was
so
going to happen. So,
okay.
yeah.
There's so many.
I'm prepared.
I already love you. We're best friends. Lance knows this. All I live for in my life is to have 2 things. 3 if I really want to push it.
Okay.
Be friends with an OBGYN who I can call when I need.
Okay.
Because I love my girl. She's amazing. But I always feel like I'm bothering her, and I never want her to say, listen, why don't you just call the office and make an appointment? I cross the boundaries.
Yeah.
And friends with a pediatrician.
Oh.
That's what I want. And I was trying to befriend my pediatrician. It has turned into a skit where I always say, when I go there, I'm like, so, should I say her name? Yeah, she's amazing. It's Rachel. I'm like, so Rachel, what, if I have an issue or if the scrape doesn't heal, what should I do? And she'll say, email me. I go, all right, great. What's your cell? Why don't you give me your cell and I'll just text it to you? And she's like, well, just email the office. You'll be fine. I can't do it. It's like I'm hitting on her and I can't get her digits. I have tried for years, Freddie. No, I'm not hitting on her, but I'm using the same tactics as if I were hitting on her. Okay.
You can have my digits after this.
I will take your digits after this. You and I are going to be best friends.
I'll make it really easy. I'm very easy.
Really?
Yeah, very easy.
Doesn't even matter what you say. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to support it. I'm going to pimp it. I'm going to promote it. I'm going to take everything you're selling and I'm going to push it out there, Freddie. Okay. So this is Freddie Tovar. He's an OBGYN. I'm sorry that I got off track with the excitement and the news of that. In addition to that, you probably also do some amazing things, although I can't seem to get past the OBGYN.
I am an OBGYN, but I actually started a nonprofit in Haiti. My origins are from Haiti. My mom and dad were immigrants to the United States in the 1970s, and they had me in 1976.
In Haiti or here?
Here in New York. I was raised predominantly, in a Haitian American neighborhood in Brooklyn, and then my dad joined the army, and we moved around the United States. But I have, very close ties to the Haitian culture.
Have you been down there?
I have, actually. I started traveling back to Haiti when I was 16, and I've made a yearly trip ever since then. And then in 2014, I started this nonprofit organization. It's called Mimsy International, and what we do is we train community volunteers in the art of prenatal care so that they can run their own mobile prenatal care clinics for the vast majority of rural Haitian women who don't have access
So
to
important.
healthcare. Yeah.
Let's go back a second. Your parents came up in the 70s. Was that under Papa Doc, or was the... Okay, so
Yes,
they
they
came
were.
up. Was it bad at the time when they came up? It was stable.
It was stable. It was.
They just wanted a better life to have you.
Yeah, it was just around the time that Papa Doc had passed away and Baby Doc was taking on power in 1971.
Are
Okay.
you're a baby doc, or
Yeah.
I'm more of a Baby Doc. Yeah, exactly.
rather than the other baby,
But not that
baby
baby
doc
doc.
follow you?
Oh, that's really that's right.
That's
I
That's
was
good.
just trying to.
Strong work.
yeah. That's actually really strong
That was
work.
really strong
That was
work.
really good.
Yeah.
This is a baby doc,
Yeah.
and
I am a Baby Doc.
he moved up here before other baby doc
Exactly.
moved.
Just like trying to keep the whole baby doc thing going.
So
There's
your
a theme
parents are
here.
up here. You're
Yeah.
born. You don't really, until you really get a chance to, are old enough and speak to your parents, you don't know the struggles and what life is like down there, whatnot. But somehow you are connected to this island. When did you go for the first time? In 2004?
Oh no! The first time I went was in 1992.
Okay, so in 1992, Aristide was
John says hi.
Was president. Hi, John.
Oh, John Rubenstein. Hello, John.
Hi, John.
It must be that John because
Yes.
it's such an odd name that that's probably the one.
I hope it's my John.
Right.
It's
yeah,
gotta be your
Not
John.
just any John.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna go with that.
we'll go with that. Yeah, so it wasn't great when you first went down there.
No,
it
it
wasn't as
wasn't.
bad as it is now, but it wasn't great.
It wasn't
when you
great
went
at
down
all.
there.
In
No.
fact, that was the first time I'd actually seen that kind of poverty, and I was really touched by just how resilient Haitian people were,
Yep.
despite all of the poverty. There was just a happiness and a joy and something that I couldn't quite put my hands on, but I just had to explore it more and get connected more. And I became very close with my extended family who lived there. And
Where did they live?
they live in a little village, a little commune right outside of the southern port city called Leca.
Okay.
It's a village called Saint-Jean-du-Sud, and it is one of the many rural villages that was affected by Hurricane Matthew last week.
So you go down there, you are moved in a way where you are seeing things for the first time. Poverty as bad as it could be. I mean, we all know poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, but until you see something like that with your own two eyes, it is very hard to be moved. And I think it's the same thing with you. You don't know a situation is as bad as it is until you have to keep almost shoving it down people's throats for them to get it. Like what's happening in Syria right now. I mean, I sometimes complain. I'm like, oh, another story on the Syrian refugees. But until a country steps up and actually is going to do something about it, we need to keep telling the story. And
Exactly.
same thing with Haiti.
Yes.
Right? This country, they are resilient. And why are they so resilient? Because they have been pummeled and beaten down by Mother Nature and beaten down by government and by the different people in power who have done nothing but run the country into the ground.
Exactly.
And you said it yourself. You go down there, they smile.
Yeah.
They want to be around you.
Exactly.
They want to create art. They want to
Yes.
learn. They don't need help. They just need some encouragement, and they can get back on their feet.
Exactly. Haiti is just one of those extraordinary countries that, despite the poverty, despite the political instability, despite the economic, instability, we still have some of the most amazing art, some of the most amazing music, and even more than that, some of the most amazing food. They may be the poorest.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah, they may be the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, but we are rich in so many different ways.
So that's not just something you say. I will just tell you that my parents still have beautiful Haitian art. And it's not art that you'll learn in some higher education. It is art that the way they see the world. Right? Color.
Yes.
And flamboyance, but in a sort of a covered way, because their only outlet to anything is just whatever they see.
Exactly.
Their peripheral vision is their eye on the world. Music.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how much you know about Haitian music is second to none. You could hear 3 beats of it in a taxi.
And it makes you want to wiggle.
It makes you want to wiggle,
Yeah.
right? Like I remember, who's that group that I absolutely love? It'll come to me. But the same thing, or with their food. I mean, their food is It's local and it's island food, but it's you'll know their food from Jamaican food from
Exactly.
Dominican food anytime.
Very distinct.
Why aren't we BFFs? Like, why are we not even hanging out more? Just
Well, we're
literally
hanging out
talking
now.
about Haiti.
Yeah, I know.
But Lance is in the room. It's a
Oh.
little awkward.
Lance can be a part of this.
I could
Yeah,
be
you
part.
can-
I
you can be
actually
part of
think
this.
I might have introduced the two of you.
I know, you really did.
Okay.
We should give credit to Lance.
And I was actually, when you were talking about it, I've actually been to Ghana. Like, I've done some work in Africa.
Yeah.
And one of the things that actually struck me in Ghana was the lack of anxiety, actually, on people. Like, they don't know to be anxious. I'm wondering if that's something that's kind of palpable in Haiti. Like these.
Yeah, I think if you don't know what
You're missing.
the other way of life is like,
What you're missing.
this just is what it is. And like, as I train my volunteers, for example, in prenatal care, healthcare delivery, respecting patients, engendering them, encouraging them, they're learning a whole different language around what it's like to be a human being with another human being. Before my nonprofit organization, it was sort of like, didn't see it, didn't care, didn't know, laissez-faire, that kind of.
You mean that
the way that people interacted with one another.
who didn't care? The people in Haiti or the people here, the volunteers?
The doctors, the nurses,
All the volunteers.
all the
They
volunteers.
didn't care.
They just hadn't. When they would hear that a mother passed away in childbirth, it was sort of like, that's too bad, and then we have to go and wash our clothes.
Is fistula a big problem there?
It is actually, yeah.
But you know what,
I'll talk some more about that later. But
You know
there's-
Alan
there's-
Rosenfield? Remember the name Alan Rosenfield from Mailman's?
If you are going to do this, we should do it at least louder so people can hear what
No,
you're
what
saying.
actually,
Otherwise, we're doing
There
Jewish
was this
geography
thing called
off camera.
the Fistula Foundation. Alan Rosenfield actually was my mentor in the malaria fight, and he was at the
Oh.
Mailman School of Public Health.
Mhm.
He was one of the fathers of this whole movement. He was actually doing maternal health in Nigeria.
Oh.
Mhm.
So
It's a shame because this is a country that is, it's so close
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 hours on a plane,
Exactly.
and they are suffering, and we are not, for all intents and purposes.
Exactly.
But you're absolutely right. You hear stories, and until you've actually seen it or met them or been down there, but it's commentary on what was that old whatever it was that used to go around where would you rather I'm going to botch it, obviously, but like lose the little tip of your finger and save like 500 lives in some remote country halfway around the world, or like save your fingertip but all those people die. And it's hard to put your head around something like that. You're like, I don't want to lose my pinky tip because I don't know any of those people.
Exactly.
But there's no reason why we shouldn't know the Haitians.
Exactly.
It's so close to us. So tell me more about your nonprofit.
So the nonprofit's been working now for a little under 2 years.
It's called
MIMSI International.
MIMSI. And what is that?
MIMSI actually stands for Modification in Mother-Baby Mortality Statistics Initiative.
It rolls off the tongue.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But just to make it,
Yeah.
tweetable.
Of course. MIMSI.
Yeah. So what we do is we enroll community volunteers, make them prenatal healthcare workers, and then we give them a vehicle with all the medical supplies, and they go and they run a mobile medical clinic, prenatal clinic, in 14 different locations that serves about 45 to 50 rural villages in Haiti. We've been able to enroll over 2,500 women into prenatal care.
Wow.
And one of the reasons why this is so important is pregnancy and childbirth is the #1 killer of women in Haiti. Above HIV, cancer, trauma, pregnancy and childbirth will actually claim the life of at least 1 in 83 women over the course of their lifetime. Here in the United States, it's more like 1 every 1,500. So it's very rare to see that kind of here. Whereas in Haiti, it's actually quite commonplace. So being able to take this prenatal care to women and identify women who have high risk problems and get them to the hospital where they can get the care that they need, it's essential. It's just essential.
You're obviously busy. You run a practice here. You are a doctor who works here. Why would you want to take the time to pour your heart and soul into teaching and helping a few women in a country 4 hours away? Why would you want to do all that?
Well,
like, explain it to people who also have busy lives like you, like John Rubenstein, who found space in their heart for someone other than just them, their friends, and their family. I mean, what is it about this country, and why should we be involved, and why should we help out, and why should we care?
I mean, first and foremost, I think the reason why I do this is because of my mom. I have a really close relationship with my mom, and I owe everything I am today to my mom. She's, an example of what mothers do in society. They have a very noble job, from, carrying a life for 9 months to caring for that life for the rest of their lives. They are, for me, everything that makes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure Harper's watching this. She's silly, but if
we actually have the tape. We'll have.
I'd like this to be on. I'd like this how we open the show every day. How awesome moms are, because this kid drives me nuts sometimes.
Yeah.
What? I carried you.
Yeah, but I really firmly believe in the potential that moms, bring to human civilization.
Right. And the disadvantage that a family is without the mother.
Yeah, and without a mom, it is very clear that, especially in the developing world, that the children are at risk of dying before age 5. 50% of them will actually die before age 5. Several of them will.
50%.
50% of children before the age of 5 will die in most developing world contexts. Yeah, will die as a result of malnutrition, diarrheal illnesses that they would have avoided had their mom actually been around.
So you add
50% of motherless children.
50. So the risk is 50% of the children that she has that are under the age of 5 will pass.
So it's
yes.
But you add that statistic to an earthquake and a hurricane and severe poverty and a drought and a lack of transportation throughout the island, a lack of communication throughout the island,
and a lack of healthcare structures,
and a lack of complete healthcare structures from top to bottom. Yeah. It's not like there's a broken down one or any kind of existing foundation where you can build upon. There's nothing.
Right.
And now that 50%, I'm sure, is much higher.
Yeah.
So how do people help? People that don't have the means to go down there, that don't have the time to go down there, how can somebody help?
Well, we are an organization that is looking for partnerships with people who can volunteer their time, their expertise to the organization. We are a startup organization, so we need a lot of hands on deck right now. Also, we ask people right now to support our emergency relief fund. We have an emergency relief fund for the areas that were affected by Hurricane Matthew. Over 165,000 families are out of resources. They have no home, they have no food, they have no water. So we're creating, food kits to send people home with rice, beans, spaghetti, and tomato paste. That, as you know, Haitians love spaghetti and tomato paste. Oil, water, soap. The basic necessities to help them get through this very hard time. You can go to www.mimsy.org and click the donate now and donate any amount. Any amount will make a huge difference. We've been able to raise about $25,000, and
Amazing.
We're doing our first relief distribution today as we speak, giving out to about 1,700 families in Saint Jean du Sud.
So the fear, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, and my father works down there, and he feels the same way, is that, and you've heard this concern voiced with these global charitable donating events, is that where I want those actual dollars to get placed immediately to where they need to go.
Yes.
Right. The tsunami, right? They collected millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars worldwide. Right. And a lot of it never saw the light of day. Same thing with Haiti after the earthquake.
Right.
Between the Clintons and Wyclef Jean, and there were like a huge Red Cross. There was so much money that came in. And let me tell you, I've been down there. That country is not visibly different than it was back when the earthquake hit. On top of which, a hurricane hit.
Exactly.
So now, I think I would like to know, and this is what I do with my dad. Like, if I ever am in a position to collect money or to donate money, I give it to people who I know are actually going down to that island that can take that money, not pocket any dollars, none of it, and give it to the people or provide for the people mosquito nets, for tents, water bottles. I mean, literally things that are like basic necessities, basic tools that anyone takes for granted here, that they could make an entire day worth of food, water, shelter, anything down there.
Well, that's one of the reasons why MIMSI International, as well as some of the other smaller organizations who are doing work down there, are great organizations to partner up with. Because we're so small, we can provide that kind of transparency very quickly. There's very little of the bureaucracy that where your dollar is actually getting lost in the shuffle. I know for my organization, I'm very proud of the fact that my mom is the community liaison, and she is the person who takes the money. She goes to the local stores, gets all of the supplies in bulk, and is now currently organizing and distributing the food.
Love.
Moms are very important.
Moms are the best.
Moms are the bomb.
Almost as good as
Yeah, moms are
Almost, but not quite. We have a lot of moms in my household. Trust me, all moms.
Yeah. So, I really do encourage people to look up the small organizations that are actually in the areas that have been affected. There are great resources online to identify those organizations. Catholic Relief Services is one. Oxfam is another. So you can find those small organizations and partner up with them and donate your time, your resources, your money to those organizations. And of course, you can donate to MIMSI International. We're going to continue to do these relief efforts until at least the 45 or 50 communities that we serve get through this emergency period.
Are there any Are there any politicians in the U.S. who you feel are being most helpful?
I'm not aware of
Actually,
right now. Nothing comes to mind currently.
Because the way the cycle works, big weather event, big world event, whatever it is, hits, it's in the news cycle for 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Everybody jumps on board to donate and to get involved, and then the next news cycle comes through and that gets pushed away. But those problems don't get pushed away, just the attention.
Just the attention.
And we just have to figure out a way to just keep it in the loop and keep eyes on the impoverished island, and make sure that people are aware that they're still in need of help. They're still dying. They're still fighting to just survive.
Exactly.
And that's
what
really
John
what
was
it
saying
is.
the other day when John was here was it seemed like there's this whole tourist, there is the opportunity for tourism, or you disagree?
No, I want there to be. John was talking about how there's a whole wing of tourism that's being born again, really, and people are going down there, and there's so much to see, and so. And I God bless him for finding needle in a haystack, which, look, I want this country to survive. I would my keychain has a Haitian flag on it. I live for Haiti. I speak Creole. My dad is fluent in Creole. He's practically Haitian.
Can you do the rest of the
Capable faire ça si tu veux.
Oh, that's it.
Him capable faire ça.
Creole.
Oh my God, great. That being said, I didn't see it, and I want to go down there and see it for myself, because I don't want to be skeptical, but I will tell you that I don't see how they can be in a position right now when my dad goes down there and, he has to have a bodyguard with him just to get to the factory. I mean, I'm telling you, and sometimes it breaks my heart that he has to wear a bulletproof vest just to get to work. Yeah.
It's going to take some time before we can start to talk about recovery and then development, right? Haiti has a wonderful treasure trove of natural resources and beautiful historical sites to visit, and I think that it definitely behooves us to explore that and perhaps invest in the tourism that Haiti does to bolster its economy and give the people their economic opportunity, for certain. And there's definitely an opportunity to do that. But right now, there are so many hundreds of thousands of families that are homeless at this point, and to shift the focus from their need to something that I think could potentially wait until we actually get through this emergency period would be irresponsible for government or anybody else. I think right now the world really needs to step up and help these people out of there.
So it's really about putting a tourniquet on the wound, essentially.
Yeah, in essence, yeah, because
Before you start
before we can
future
start, I mean, you start putting dollars into tourism while there are 100 families in an area where you're going to bring tourists who are homeless and without resources to feed themselves or anything else. What are you bringing the tourists to see?
Right.
I think that would be just ethically and morally, if I allowed you to say that off.
Yeah, I understand. I believe that, and I understand that, and that's what I was talking to John about a little bit is that it's not, none of that stuff's going anywhere.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
let's
But I do want to underscore that what John and many of my other friends and cohorts have experienced down in Haiti is real. It is a beautiful island.
It is, no doubt. The beautiful beaches.
So many opportunities to create resorts that cater to. I've always imagined creating a resort for gay men, lesbians to come and just sort of explore, because there's these amazing coves that are completely secret and separate, and they're just stunning. I mean, stunning.
But there used to be a very healthy tourism life down there. I mean, there was a Club Med, and there were these beautiful hotels and resorts, and
some of them still exist.
Yeah.
It's the same island as
Hotel Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although that
Dominican
got
Republic, right?
really beaten up after the earthquake, because that's where my
earthquake,
dad used to stay.
I know there's a lot of cruise ships that go to that general area. Do they
Yeah, they
put
go-
anything into? Do they leave anything? Do they give anything?
I mean, it's a good question. The cruise ships passed by the island.
Labadie.
Labadie, yeah, that's right.
Up
Labadie.
in the north.
Yeah.
So they go to Labadie in the north. Most of the people who are on the cruise ship don't even realize that they're actually on the island of Haiti.
Right.
And I think Royal Caribbean does that on purpose. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yay,
Yay.
guys.
Yes.
Good for you. How long have you been doing this now? This is how many years?
Just under 2.
Okay.
We're about to go into year 3 of operations, and we are now we're in a position to create new teams of mobile prenatal clinics, so that we can go into the areas that were hardest hit by the hurricane, start to redevelop their infrastructure, start to build ties to the community, and bring more women into prenatal care. We're also thinking about planning and designing this are's first birthing center and neonatal hospital.
Wow.
So that we can serve the more than 5,000 women who are now pregnant and don't have hospital to go to.
Are you surprised there isn't more being done through American politics here, or efforts to really help the country out a little bit more? Given that it was on the map. I mean, it was national attention given to the various natural disasters that have really affected the island.
Nothing really surprises me right now.
Okay.
Is this what's surprising you about American politics?
I mean, I have to say,
Just say it.
No, I just have to say, I think we tend to sort of forget the context that we're in. We are in an election cycle. There's so many huge topics going on all around the world, with Syria, with Asia, with Africa. We're not certain what's going to happen with our government, and so I think that there's this maelstrom of confusion in this moment, and I can empathize with people,
Right.
Having their attention diverted to different aspects. I mean, it's a confusing place, but all I can do is stand up for what I care about.
That's fair.
Stand up for what matters. Continue to talk. To continue to fight the good fight, and plead people to look at this country that's still in a great deal of need and help us out, continue to help us out.
You were talking about the mobile clinics. Can you take us through what a mobile clinic is, like what it looks like? Like you threw out the term, but like
yeah,
what
no,
is
it's
it?
and I hate jargon too, but it's become just a little bit of my own jargon. The mobile clinic is actually the concept of a mobile clinic is being able to take a clinic from one place to another place to deliver those services.
Is it on a motorcycle? Is it in an ambulance?
Yeah.
Is it,
So right now it's actually in the back of a tap-tap. You know what a tap-tap is. You don't know what a tap-tap is. It's basically a truck that we use for trafficking people from one place to another. It's sort of like a bus, but it's, you know.
It's a pickup truck.
It's a pickup truck with like a wooden bench where people would sit down. And we put all of our volunteers inside of the back of the truck, put all of our medical supplies inside, and we drive to.
So are the medical supplies, like, are there more medical supplies than people, or is it like how many? When you talk about a medical supply, you're bringing
we're bringing curtains, we're bringing boxes of medication, we're bringing all the equipment that you would need to evaluate a patient: blood pressure cuff, measuring ribbons.
Do you do a sonogram?
We do also bring an ultrasound. I actually do the ultrasounds for the pregnant women. We bring a portable. It actually looks like a beatbox, a boombox.
And where do you get those? Are those?
So the medical supplies we buy in country. So most of the medical pharmaceuticals, our prenatal vitamins, our antibiotics, we buy them inside of the country. A lot of the medical equipment, like the blood pressure cuff, I will bring from here. The ultrasound I actually bought from China. Thank God for the Chinese.
Yeah, really.
So you buy a new ultrasound. How much is in like? So how much? I'm sorry.
How much is new ultrasound?
No, how much does like a clinic? How much does a clinic cost? Like as you try to raise money for this, like. Yeah. I guess it would be important for people to know, like, okay,
like a mobile clinic.
Like, so does a mobile clinic cost $5,000? Does it cost $50,000? Does it cost $300,000?
So then it takes us back to your original question: what is the mobile clinic? If it's just the pickup truck, then right now it doesn't cost very much because we have kept the cost down. Ideally, what we want to do is we actually want to develop a prenatal van. So the van itself serves as the clinic, and the people come into the van, get their care, and leave the van, and everything is housed inside of the van. That model has actually shown itself to be the most effective.
And how much does that cost?
Well, we're talking to different contractors about the cost, but anywhere between $50,000 and $75,000.
And that would be able to go from place to place. What's the road situation like, or is it hard for you to sort of reach community to community?
Yes, exactly. Haiti is a very mountainous country. The terrain does the most basic cars a great deal of problems. Cause a great deal of problems for them. It's difficult to get into some of these communities that are sort of nestled away inside of a valley. You have to go over several mountains to get to them. And as we expand our care, that's just going to take more of a toll on the trucks that we currently use. So having this prenatal van would actually make a huge difference for us and increase the longevity of our service in these areas.
All right, so let's just get you a van.
Get me a van.
Get me that van.
Get me 2 vans.
I'll get you 2 vans. If there's anything else I can get for you, please let me know.
A few shipping containers, a few doctors.
Okay.
And yeah.
So if you could just text it to me, that would be great.
Where do you get the doctors from? Like, let's take us through your program.
Yeah, so I'm actually envisioning that this program is going to be a midwifery run program. We have a shortage of doctors in Haiti. There are not enough graduating from the 4 medical schools that are currently there, and those that do graduate, a certain percentage will actually end up leaving the country. You've heard of the brain drain in Haiti. In Lekai right now, the main city that we work outside of, there's only 7 OBGYNs for a population of 750,000 people. So you can imagine that presents a huge bottleneck. So what we want to do is actually create a midwifery model. Number one, it's really easy to create. There's a whole host of resources that we can use to create like a midwifery school and train midwives in southern Haiti. And then after that, have the birthing centers as well as the mobile prenatal care clinics be run by these midwives. It's shown itself to be very successful in Africa and
How far
Asia.
off is a plan like that?
Not too far off, actually. I think that with Hurricane Matthew, causing its devastation, our timetable has actually moved up. So we're looking to develop something like this within the next 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we've partnered up with several organizations. We've looked into creating a curriculum so that we can develop that midwife school, and then hopefully end up with a few midwives to start running our mobile prenatal clinics as well as our birthing center.
Nice.
So
Tell me again, MIMSI?
MIMSI stands for Modification in Mother Baby Mortality Statistics Initiative.
And the website?
www.mimsi.org.
Nice. Get involved. Do it right now. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We got to get a couple trucks, a few more tap taps. Tap taps are not in good shape, Lance. Not gonna lie to you. I'll show you a picture of it.
Yeah, no, actually, like when
I don't know
did
if
the work,
did John.
we talked about it. Like I wanted to drill down on it because this is actually when I did my work in Africa, there was actually an organization. One of the more successful organizations I think in Africa was actually something called Riders.org. They were they're motorcycle drivers.
Yes, yes.
And they actually went out and they got motorcycles to transport the all this whole infrastructure they built off of motorcycles.
They had something very similar to that in Uganda when I was with Doctors Without Borders. I worked with Doctors Without Borders for a year in the Congo, and so I got very familiar with the Riders program. I think they have something in Northeast Congo as well as in Kampala, Uganda. Yeah.
And what about like Partisan Health? Are they very involved in Haiti?
They were.
Like Paul Farmer was originally
Yes. Actually, Paul Farmer's like one of my idols. He's one of the people who inspired me to say that this is this could be possible. We could create something like this. Paul Farmer is primarily located in the Central Plateau of Haiti, but he works with several organizations throughout the country of Haiti, and their partnerships have been quite helpful in getting, healthcare relief to the hurricane-affected areas.
When are you heading back down?
I am thinking about going down at the end of this month or in mid-November. We have another prenatal clinic that we're about to set off on October 30th. That will last for about 7 days. I anticipate getting at least 150 new patients.
Nice.
And they're all going to need ultrasounds. They're all going to need prenatal care.
They're all going to need you.
They're all going to need us.
Yes.
They're going to need
you
us.
All.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
this
you.
Has been really extraordinary.
Yeah, and it's a continued conversation. It's not over. Come back. Let us know about the work you're doing. What else you need.
I'll actually come back. Hopefully, we'll have some video to show the public what we're doing. I really, want to make sure that people understand not a single dime is going into administrative costs. Everything is going down there.
I'm sorry.
Everything is going down there.
Sure. Go ahead.
I'll be quiet. Now, the Haitian government here, like the embassy, and are they involved? Like, how do they sort of? What's the interaction?
Are they involved in?
Like, do you work with them, or how are they? Like why? Like, if we wanted to get the Haitian ambassador on the show, like really, like, do that kind of stuff. Like, why not?
I have no
you don't connect
ties with the Haitian government here. I do know of some very influential people in Haiti who are civilians here, but I haven't really made any alliances with the Haitian government or the embassy here.
This is something we should drill down. I mean, we should drill down on all of this, like with our platform.
Yeah, but we could talk about that offline.
Oh yeah, no,
not
that's not on camera.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you want me to ask any more questions?
No, but I don't want you to ask 13 in a row, because then I'm just like, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'll be back, because that's,
you were plenty. I did prepare for today.
Right, but perhaps you could have prepared me then. I said, "Is there anything you want me to ask?" And Lance said, "No, I want you to. I'm not going to tell you anything. I want you to go out and be creative and curious."
It's very clear that you two have been working together very.
Yeah,
for a
I know.
long
And
time.
Lance is going to be working by himself for a long time if we don't work out all these questions.
Nice.
It's going to be all Lance. If he wants to do the show, you're more than welcome to do it. You do what you're good at. This is why we're going to get divorced if we don't work this out. I'll do what I'm good at, which sometimes I don't even know what that is. I love the work you're doing.
Thank
It's
you.
near and dear to my heart.
Thank you.
Lance does so much work with malaria in Africa, and it's near and dear to his heart as well. So again, this is not over by any stretch. We would love to keep talking about it, keep learning more, and I love that there are ways people can help, and that all of the money that is poured in is going directly to what matters down there.
Exactly.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming in.
I appreciate
You're
it.
awesome. Now I'm going to get your number off camera because I have a lot of OBG questions that I really need to ask, and no one needs to be bothered with all
The
of those
camera,
questions.
We can't
was
put
going
the-
to keep the camera going.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Awesome. Thank
We're
you.
keeping, everything's staying on now until we.
That's fine. Do you want to take a picture?
Yes.
Do you not want to take a
I want to
picture?
take a picture of you shooting me.
Giving you crap?
This is great.
I can give you more crap when we're offline.
Well, I know I'm going to
Oh,
get
you're
more. I
gonna
might
get
as well
more.
keep it.
This
I
is funny, so why don't you shut it
want
off?
to keep the cameras rolling. How much more crap am I going to get? Cool. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. You wonderful. Love the work you do.
Thank you so much.
And the best to your mom as well.
I will.
Can you connect
Right
us?
now, right now.
Okay. This is actually good at that. You're in Brooklyn?
I am. I'm pretty much based in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, and
I love it there.
It's gorgeous. There's this new Thai restaurant that just opened up. It's Tovar. I can send you my details if you like.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to. Right now.
It's called Simui, and they just opened it up in this industrial garage. Amazing decor.
Is it worth Steph and I schlepping all the way to
Yes,
Brooklyn for?
it is.
Okay.
It is. The food is incredible.
Schlepping for Thai food.
Yeah, it is so good. So
Okay.
It's like right there on Van.
What is it called?
12th Simui, SAMUI. Yeah.
Okay.
Really, really incredible.
Done.
Like this woman is stunning. I mean, she's a stunning woman, and she just she creates her own light fixtures. So when you go in, it's like this artistic.
Yeah. Amazing.
It's actually funny. I was.
You should turn the cameras this way so everyone
So
can see
you're-
Lance's.
So actually, when I typed in, oh, before you shoot me, I want you.
Yeah, I know. See what it looks like the before picture.
I did it when I typed in Freddie. We had that by Freddie actually helped us.
Oh, really?
With the malaria work.
Oh, really?
Yes, actually, we did this. We started 10 years ago. We did this thing called malaria. Before the EMA and everything got involved, but we partnered with the Knicks, and Freddie and I got. Freddie actually took the first shot of Dunk malaria at Madison Square Garden. So, it was funny. When I typed in your name, that came up.
Wow. That's really.
But yes.
How long have you been working with?
We put on the first. We put on the first fundraiser of type malaria in the United States in 2009. So it was just it was pretty bizarre because it was one of the beginning.
Move this.
I started with hedge funds versus malaria.
Okay.
It was it took off. Well, I mean, I remember there was a column with the Haiti. I mean, it's still a big column, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go into the detail. I didn't know how much.
But that's actually a column for the mothers, right? That's kind of getting I'm sorry, sort of.
I wanted to.
me.
Yeah, I just didn't know what the platform was. I didn't know how much details to give about the nature part of it, what we do, STD screening, malaria screening, and it's a huge problem. Malaria is still a cause of chronic anemia in our patients, and lots of our women will die in childhood because of the chronic anemia that the malaria is.
Sure. So
it's a huge problem. Right. And now that with the hurricane causing
Sure, it's
all
more
these
water.
exactly, moving water around, there's going to be very more cases of malaria.
I'm gonna hop back on. I feel like this is interesting for us, but I feel like
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna
we'll
lose
get back
people.
to that.
I'm gonna go say hello to some people. It was great to see you again.
We'll do that.
I'm
I
gonna
want
go
to
see
have.
some movie and come visit you in the
Please
process.
call me and then we can all have.
I will.
Me, my partner.
Yes,
and
sir.
Absolutely.
Tell Susan we're ready for her whenever.
I'd love to.
Done.
Tag with you too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Would love that. Sounds great. I'll bring Lance. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
She
Maybe I
probably
won't.
won't. She's about to.
No.
Teach me. I asked too many questions.
No,
I'll
that
text you. I'll text you.
That's fine. I might have to find another job.
Mm-mm.
How can I?
I texted you.
Oh, you
Jenna. I texted to her.
I think he wants to know how he can get a copy of this or see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I pick up on social cues better than Lance does.
Yeah.
He's like, she's great and all, but I'd rather see me on how does this work.
Well, I
but
probably look like a complete
it's
fool.
clipped on Periscope, yeah?
We
on
tagged
Twitter?
you on Twitter.
So it's on
live
your Twitter
It's
account.
live, so you can just retweet the interview on
Okay,
Twitter and
great.
it stays up.
Okay.
And,
Which is
you can-
perfect.
Great.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
saw it. I had to get
Looking
it.
forward to it.
And then I said, ask Beth.
Yeah.
Well, what do I want? I don't want to check.
Oh, that's so great. I love that.
Have a good day.
Bye. Take care.
Thanks,
Thank you.